Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I am an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The next 2 weeks on The Bold and the Beautiful explode with betrayal, family warfare, shocking reveals, and a fashion showdown that could change everything. As July sweeps begin, the battle lines are drawn between the Logans and the Forresters, and what starts as a secret fashion launch quickly spirals into a scandal so massive that no one involved will escape the fallout. At the center of it all are Katie Logan and Hope Logan, who are quietly preparing an astonishing blindside that will leave the entire Forrester family stunned, furious, and desperately scrambling to regain control. The countdown begins during the week of June 22nd, and from the very first day, the tension is already hanging thick in the air. On Monday, June 22nd, Donna Logan finds herself caught in a nightmare scenario she has been dreading. The moment she learns that Hope for the Future is officially returning and that Hope Logan is ending her leave of absence, she immediately understands the disaster that is about to unfold. While Brooke Logan is likely overflowing with excitement about what she believes is wonderful news for the family and for Forrester Creations, Donna sees the darker reality lurking beneath the surface. She knows secrets are being kept, alliances have shifted, and the truth is poised to detonate like a bomb in the middle of both families. Every conversation suddenly feels dangerous, every smile feels forced, and Donna becomes increasingly nervous around Brooke as she struggles with the knowledge she carries. Desperate to stop the coming disaster, Donna may even attempt to reason with Katie and Hope, urging them to halt the launch before it is too late. But by now, the wheels are already in motion. Bill Spencer has invested too much to back down, and Katie has dug in her heels with fierce determination. Neither of them has any intention of abandoning their plan, no matter how explosive the consequences may be. Meanwhile, Bill turns his attention to Wyatt Spencer. Pressure begins mounting as questions continue swirling around the mysterious diamond Wyatt previously showed Liam Spencer. Bill's patience is wearing dangerously thin, and if Wyatt tries to pass off that same suspicious stone again, there may be fireworks. The uncertainty surrounding whether the diamond is genuine or fake only adds another layer of tension to an already volatile situation. As secrets pile on top of secrets, everyone seems to be standing on unstable ground, unaware that the biggest shock is still waiting just around the corner. The drama intensifies on Tuesday, June 23rd, when Morgan Fairchild returns as the glamorous Dottie Bright. Alongside her assistant Joseph, Dottie receives an exclusive preview of Eric Forrester's highly anticipated couture collection at Forrester Creations. Inside the CEO office, an impressive gathering has assembled, including Brooke, Ridge Forrester, Eric Forrester, Steffi Forrester, Carter Walton, Zende Forrester, R.J. Forrester, and several others. The atmosphere is filled with excitement and confidence as everyone prepares for what they believe will be a triumphant fashion moment. But that confidence evaporates in an instant when shocking news crashes into the room. The revelation that Logan's new collection will launch the very next day lands like a thunderbolt. Suddenly, excitement transforms into disbelief. Faces freeze, conversations stop. The Forresters realize they have been completely blindsided. The timing could not be worse. Whether Logan's collection launches on the exact same day as Eric's couture debut, or perhaps even earlier, the effect is devastating. The Forresters had no warning. They never imagined Bill and Katie could move so quickly or so effectively behind the scenes. What was supposed to be their moment in the spotlight is suddenly under threat. As panic begins spreading through Forrester Creations, Brooke becomes consumed with anger and suspicion. Unable to contain her outrage, she storms over to Logan headquarters, determined to get answers from Katie. The confrontation that follows is nothing short of explosive. Brooke demands to know how Katie managed to organize a collection so quickly and who the designer responsible for it might be. What Brooke does not realize is that Hope is hidden nearby, silently listening as every accusation and demand fills the room. Emotions spiral higher with each passing second. Brooke threatens to search the offices herself, convinced something larger is being concealed. Katie remains remarkably composed throughout the confrontation, even laughing at Brooke's increasingly desperate accusations. As Brooke grows more frantic and unhinged, Katie skillfully keeps her attention focused elsewhere. While the sisters battle face to face, Hope quietly slips away unnoticed, escaping before Brooke can discover the truth. Katie leaves Brooke with one final tantalizing promise. Everyone will learn the identity of the mysterious designer at the official launch of the new House of Logan collection. Furious and frustrated, Brooke leaves without answers, unaware that the biggest revelation has yet to arrive. By Wednesday, June 24th, Katie and Bill are fully committed to using every advantage available to them. Recognizing the enormous buzz surrounding Eric's couture debut, they cleverly position House of Logan to capitalize on the attention already flooding the fashion world. Katie taps into her extensive public relations network, reaching out to influential guests who are already traveling for Eric's launch and encouraging them to attend Logan's event as well. It is a strategic move, one designed to maximize exposure and redirect attention toward their own brand. Katie understands exactly what is at stake and intends to fight for every headline, every camera flash, and every ounce of publicity she can capture. Across town, the mood inside Forrester Creations grows darker by the hour. The Forresters find themselves playing defense, something they rarely enjoy. What should have been a celebration is becoming a crisis. Their spotlight is being stolen before the event has even begun. Anger simmers beneath the surface as Ridge, Steffi, and the rest of the family attempt to formulate a response. Yet, despite their efforts, they remain one step behind. They know Katie has challenged them, but they still have no idea how shocking the full truth will be. Their frustration continues building, setting the stage for an even more devastating blow. July sweeps officially begin on Thursday, June 25th, and the stakes immediately rise. Elektra confides in Will Spencer, expressing her hope that the coming days will bring success for everyone involved. Yet beneath her optimism lies uncertainty. She has no idea that events already unfolding behind the scenes could threaten everything she has worked for. At Logan, Bill and Katie bring their son Will into the loop regarding the jewelry line. They reveal critical details and demand absolute secrecy. Bill understands that the launch places Will in an uncomfortable position because of his relationship with Elektra, but he makes one thing clear: this is business, not personal. Wyatt Spencer and Shauna Fulton are also present, reinforcing the sense that something major is about to happen. Will finds himself trapped between loyalty and love. The knowledge he carries weighs heavily on him, especially knowing that Elektra could be directly affected by the competition now emerging. Still, Bill's expectations leave little room for hesitation. Family loyalty and business ambition collide, forcing difficult choices that could strain important relationships. Meanwhile, Hope and Liam Spencer face growing awkwardness of their own. With secrets everywhere and tensions rising, even casual encounters carry the potential for uncomfortable revelations. While some relationships are beginning to fracture, excitement continues building at Logan headquarters. Bill and Katie move through final preparations with smiles on their faces, fully aware that they are standing on the edge of a game-changing moment. Deacon Sharp shares their enthusiasm, sensing that something historic is about to unfold. Then comes Friday, June 26th, the day House of Logan finally takes center stage. Dottie Bright and Joseph return, potentially shifting their attention from Forrester's world to Logan's much-anticipated fashion event. Donna also reappears, forced to choose where her loyalties truly lie. Is she standing with the Forresters or with her own family? The answer becomes increasingly complicated as the runway lights illuminate House of Logan's newest collection. Shauna is present for the event, and viewers may even receive an early glimpse of the jewelry line that has been generating so much anticipation. Yet even amid the glamour and excitement, everyone senses that a dramatic finale is coming. The fashion itself promises a striking visual spectacle. Reports suggest gowns featuring dramatic flamenco-inspired influences with flowing silhouettes, bold black and white contrasts, and vivid red rose accessories creating a powerful runway presence. The designs differ dramatically from what many expected after earlier previews, making the collection even more intriguing. Influencers, photographers, industry insiders, and media personalities gather as anticipation reaches a fever pitch. Every camera is ready, every guest is watching, every participant understands they may be witnessing a defining moment, but nothing could prepare anyone for the reveal waiting at the end of the show. As the first full week of July sweeps unfolds from June 29th through July 3rd, the story erupts into pure soap opera chaos. The climax arrives when Hope Logan and Deacon Sharp make their official House of Logan debut. Together, they step onto the runway and walk before a stunned audience, revealing the secret that has been hidden for so long. The reaction is immediate and explosive. Jaws drop, shock ripples through the crowd, and among those most devastated is Brooke, who can barely believe what she is seeing unfold before her eyes. The emotional fallout promises to be enormous. Katie is thrilled that her plan has succeeded, but Brooke's fury threatens to overshadow the celebration entirely. Their confrontation could become one of the most explosive family showdowns in recent memory. Katie will defend herself by insisting she broke no rules. Hope is both a Logan and a Spencer, not a Forrester. According to Katie, she honored every agreement while simply finding a clever path around the restrictions. Brooke, however, is unlikely to accept that explanation. Her feelings of betrayal run far too deep. Years of family loyalty suddenly feel shattered, and emotions may become impossible to control. At the same time, Electra faces a crisis of confidence as the competing jewelry line enters the spotlight. Questions begin haunting her. Is she talented enough? Can she survive the competition? Did Will intentionally keep information from her? Bill's insistence on secrecy may place tremendous strain on their relationship. If Electra learns about the jewelry launch at the same time the Hope collection debuts, the emotional impact could be devastating. Donna's situation becomes equally painful. Brooke begins demanding answers, wanting to know whether Donna knew Hope was secretly working with Logan. When Donna admits she was aware but attempted to stop it, Brooke may feel betrayed all over again. Suddenly, every Logan seems guilty in her eyes. Trust begins crumbling everywhere. Family bonds that once appeared unbreakable start showing dangerous cracks. The Forrester reaction promises to be even more intense. Steffi and Ridge are expected to be absolutely furious. They may argue that they extended grace by bringing Hope for the future back into the fold, only to have Hope secretly undermine them behind their backs. From their perspective, the deception is inexcusable. Anger spreads throughout the family as they struggle to comprehend how such a massive betrayal remained hidden for so long. Legal action may even be discussed, particularly since Hope remains associated with Forrester Creations. Yet pursuing that path could backfire spectacularly, drawing even more attention to the scandal and humiliating the company in front of the fashion industry. Adding further insult to injury, House of Logan's launch could dramatically impact the performance of Eric's couture collection. What should have been a triumphant moment for the legendary designer risks being overshadowed by the controversy and excitement surrounding Hope's shocking alliance with Logan. The fashion press will have endless material to cover. First came the buzz surrounding Eric Forrester's connection to Logan and the rumors involving Ridge. Now comes Hope Logan, Brooke Logan's own daughter, stepping into the spotlight in a way no one expected. The combination is irresistible to the media and guaranteed to dominate headlines. As the dust begins to settle, one thing becomes increasingly clear. House of Logan may emerge from this battle stronger than ever, while Forrester Creations struggles to recover from the damage. If Hope's collection proves successful, the consequences could extend far beyond hurt feelings and family arguments. Careers, reputations, and business empires may all be affected. R.J. Forrester is expected to unleash his anger, likely directing it toward Will and everyone involved in what he views as a calculated betrayal. Ridge and Steffi may join him, creating an avalanche of outrage that threatens to consume everyone in its path. By the end of these explosive weeks, alliances will be tested, loyalties will be questioned, and family relationships may never be the same again. What began as a secret fashion project transforms into a scandal that shakes both dynasties to their core. The Logan-Forrester war reaches a boiling point, and every revelation only makes the conflict more intense. With shocking runway moments, family betrayals, fierce confrontations, and high-stakes business battles unfolding at every turn, the coming episodes promise the kind of dramatic, emotional, larger-than-life storytelling that soap fans live for. The stage is set, the secrets are ready to explode, and when the final curtain rises on House of Logan, nobody will walk away unchanged. The aftermath of the House of Logan debut leaves a lingering shockwave that refuses to settle as the fallout continues to spread across both families like wildfire. Even after the runway lights dim and the final model disappears backstage, the tension does not fade, it only deepens. Inside Forrester Creations, the atmosphere is thick with disbelief, anger, and a burning need to understand how everything slipped out of their control so completely. Ridge stands frozen in thought, replaying every moment, every decision, searching for the point where things first began to go wrong. Steffi is far less restrained, her frustration boiling over as she struggles to accept that Hope Logan has re-emerged not as a passive presence, but as the face of a rival empire. What should have been a controlled, predictable fashion cycle has now turned into a public relations disaster that no one saw coming at this scale. The emotional weight of Brooke witnessing Hope and Deacon's reveal continues to haunt her, as though the moment is replaying in her mind on a relentless loop. The image of her daughter stepping confidently onto that runway, aligned with a new vision and a new identity, cuts deeper than she is willing to admit. Brooke's heartbreak is tangled with fury, not only at Hope, but at Katie and the entire chain of events that allowed this transformation to unfold in secrecy. When she finally confronts those involved, her emotions erupt in waves that are impossible to control. The betrayal she feels is not just professional, it is deeply personal, rooted in family history, trust, and years of shared loyalty that now feel fractured beyond repair. Every explanation offered only seems to make things worse, pushing her further into anger rather than easing her pain. Across the divide, Katie remains firm in her conviction that she acted within her rights. She does not back down even as the confrontation grows more intense. To her, the House of Logan launch was not a betrayal, but a strategic evolution, a necessary step in reclaiming influence in a world dominated for too long by Forrester control. But logic does little to soothe the emotional storm around her. Brooke's outrage collides with Katie's determination, creating a volatile exchange that threatens to permanently damage their relationship. Words are exchanged that cannot easily be taken back, and the emotional distance between them widens with every passing moment. What once felt like a united family front now feels like opposing forces locked in an escalating war. Meanwhile, Elektra's personal crisis quietly intensifies beneath the larger corporate chaos. The jewelry line competition becomes more than just business, it becomes a question of self-worth, identity, and survival. As whispers about the House of Logan jewelry collection spread, Elektra begins to feel the pressure of comparison weighing heavily on her. Every detail she once felt confident about now seems uncertain under the shadow of a larger, more aggressively marketed launch. Her concerns deepen when she realizes how little she was told about the full scope of the competition. Will's silence, enforced by Bill's strict instructions, begins to feel less like protection and more like exclusion. The emotional gap between them grows wider, fueled by secrecy and timing that could not be worse. Will himself is caught in an increasingly uncomfortable position, torn between loyalty to his father and honesty with the woman he cares about. The burden of secrecy sits heavily on him, shaping every interaction and making even simple conversations feel loaded with hidden meaning. Bill's unwavering stance leaves no room for hesitation. This is business, and sentiment cannot interfere. Yet Will cannot fully escape the feeling that he is standing in the middle of a conflict that could damage multiple relationships at once. The pressure builds silently but steadily, and it becomes clear that sooner or later, the truth will come out in a way that cannot be controlled. At the same time, the Forresters begin shifting from shock into strategy. Ridge and Steffi start analyzing how to respond, how to regain control of a narrative that has already escaped them. The fashion industry is watching closely now, and every move they make carries amplified consequences. Legal options are briefly discussed again, but the risks remain too high. Taking action against hope could only fuel the media frenzy further, turning an already explosive situation into a full-blown public spectacle. The realization settles in uncomfortably that they may be forced to fight this battle not in courtrooms, but in the court of public opinion. Elsewhere, the House of Logan continues to ride the momentum of its controversial success. What began as a secretive launch has now become the center of industry attention, drawing media coverage, influencer speculation, and high-profile curiosity from across the fashion world. Bill and Katie stand at the center of it all, presenting a united front as they navigate the sudden surge of visibility. For them, the gamble appears to be paying off, at least in the short term. But beneath the surface, the cost of that success is becoming increasingly clear as relationships strain and alliances shift in unpredictable ways. Every victory carries a shadow, and that shadow grows longer with each passing hour. Hope, now fully stepping into her new role, begins to feel the emotional weight of her decision more intensely. The runway debut may have been triumphant, but the aftermath is far more complicated. She is no longer simply a daughter, a designer, or a former Forrester employee. She has become a symbol of disruption. That realization brings both empowerment and unease. On one hand, she has reclaimed her voice and her creative identity. On the other, she now stands at the center of a storm that is tearing through both families with devastating force. The applause of the fashion world is loud, but it does not silence the emotional chaos waiting behind it. As the week continues, Brooke finds herself increasingly isolated in her emotions. Her attempts to reconcile the competing truths around her only deepen her confusion. She sees the success of the launch, but she cannot separate it from the sense of betrayal she feels. The idea that her daughter would align herself so completely with Logan ambition while undermining Forrester legacy is almost too much to accept. Yet the evidence is undeniable, and denial can no longer shield her from reality. This internal struggle begins to wear her down, leaving her emotionally exhausted and increasingly volatile. The ripple effects extend even further into the Forrester family dynamic, where trust is now in short supply. RJ becomes more openly hostile, his frustration boiling over as he lashes out at what he perceives as calculated deception. Ridge tries to maintain control, but even he cannot fully suppress his anger anymore. Steffi, determined and unyielding, begins planning how to reassert dominance in the fashion world, refusing to let the Logans dictate the narrative any longer. What emerges is not just a professional rivalry, but a deeply personal war that threatens to reshape the balance of power between two iconic families. As July sweeps pushes forward, the consequences of the House of Logan debut continue to expand in unpredictable ways. What began as a bold business move has evolved into a full-scale emotional and corporate conflict with no easy resolution in sight. Every character is now pulled deeper into the fallout, whether through loyalty, love, ambition, or betrayal. And as tensions rise and secrets continue to unravel, one truth becomes increasingly unavoidable. The storm that began on the runway is far from over, and its final impact is only just beginning to be felt.